Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Blues Memorial Hall of Butler University. Before the event begins, we would like to remind you of certain procedures to follow in order to ensure the safety and comfort of everyone in the theater. Please check to make sure all cell phones, pagers, watch alarms, audible devices, and text devices are turned off or silenced. Please refrain from using these devices during the event. Remember, the taking of photographs, the use of recording devices, and the use of text devices is strictly prohibited. Please take a moment to notice your surroundings. Locate at least 2 exits closest to your seat. In the event of an emergency, please walk calmly through an exit and listen for further announcements.
Good afternoon. It is my honor and privilege as the Chief Faculty Marshal to proclaim the opening of the 2013 Butler University Winter Commencement Exercises. At this time, I am pleased to introduce Dr. Catherine Morris, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs.
Thank you, Dr. Brabant. Welcome, graduates and honored guests, to Butler University's Winter Commencement Ceremony. Graduates, you have earned this pomp and circumstance, and Butler is happy to celebrate your achievement. Congratulations. Soon you will join the illustrious ranks of approximately 44,000 Butler alumni who live in every state in our union and in more than 80 countries around the world. Their careers and achievements attest to the quality of their Butler experience. Most of you were encouraged to pursue your degrees by family, friends, and faculty and staff members at this fine university. Please join me in thanking those individuals in attendance today with a round of applause. I now call on the members of the Butler University Chorale, directed by Mr. Greg Sanders, to lead us in the singing of the national anthem. As we sing, I invite you to reflect on members of the Butler community who have served and will serve their country in the armed services. Would you please stand? Thank you very much, and please be seated. Once again, our talented Butler University Chorale will perform the anthem, Things That Never Die, with music by Lee Dangler, text by Nixon Waterman, which has been drawn from the works of Charles Dickens. The words are on page 1 of your program. Please welcome to the podium Mr. Sanders and the Butler University Chorale once again.
The sorrow of a contrite heart. shall never die, shall never let nothing pass, for every hand must find some work to do. Lose not a chance to make and love. Be firm and just and true, so shall a light that cannot fade beam on thee from on high, and angel voices say to thee, these things can never die. These things can never die.
Thank you very much to the talented musicians and their director, Mr. Sanders. Now it's my pleasure to introduce the chairman of the Board of Trustees, Mr. Craig Fenneman.
Thank you, Dr. Morris. Good afternoon and congratulations to our Butler graduates. Today we celebrate a tremendous milestone in your lives. We are very proud of your academic and personal achievements, and we are grateful for the unique and positive impact that each of you has had on Butler University. We're also grateful, as I know you are, to your parents, family members, and friends. Their support and encouragement have helped you reach this milestone. Let's thank them for the love, support, and sacrifice that has led to this wonderful occasion. While today's ceremony is indeed a happy one, we here at Butler are sad to see you leave. And I know that many of you, though not all of you perhaps, likewise are sad to be leaving. We often refer to the Butler Way as the special manner in which we pursue excellence in our own areas of talent for the greater good of our communities and society at large. Throughout your academic journey, you have exemplified the Butler Way. It is my hope that you embrace the next chapter of your lives. As you embrace your next chapter of your lives, you will continue to allow the Butler Way to inspire you. I encourage you to remember those people who have given you a helping hand and pulled you forward. Don't forget those behind you that are the same helping hand. Continue to serve your families, your friends, and your communities as you have done here at Butler. I wish you every success as you begin your new journey as alumni. We will miss you and your special contributions to this campus, and we hope you'll come back to visit us often. It is my pleasure now to welcome to the stage Dr. Doug Spaniel, Vice Chair of Faculty Senate and Professor in the Jordan College of Arts, to introduce Ms. Naja Halabagovich, our honorary degree recipient.
Thank you, Mr. Fenneman. It is my honor and privilege to introduce Ms. Naja Halabagovich, today's commencement speaker and recipient of an honorary degree from Butler University. I know I speak for many, many members of the Butler community when I say that we are delighted to have Naja back on campus and to celebrate a truly remarkable person and to recognize her for her good and important work promoting peace worldwide. Naja came to Butler as a student in the fall of 1997, and she earned a bachelor's degree in music performance and theater. As you can imagine, many of us in the Jordan College of Arts have been especially excited to welcome Naja back to campus today. In the past few months, I've had many conversations with my colleagues in JCA and across campus about Naja. In one of these conversations, I mentioned that I had had Naja as a student in a music theory class that I taught. The response was something like, Oh, I bet she knew the answer to every question. In fact, Nadja was a truly outstanding academic student. I looked back at my old grade book. Yes, I keep these. And I saw that Nadja had earned a score of 107% on the last project, 105% on the final exam, and 102% overall for the semester. Now, as remarkable as these numbers are, the truth is, I had forgotten about them. And the reason is this. Nadja's academic strength was not her most memorable characteristic. When I think back of a teenage Nadja Holobekovich, what I remember is a young lady who was always exceedingly polite and always eloquent in conversation. And her interactions went well beyond surface niceties. Her well-chosen words and her manner of speaking and listening reflected a genuine kindness and caring. But even that statement doesn't really describe her well. I don't think it's an overstatement to say that in even a simple short conversation with Nadja, I always felt as if she radiated an appreciation for what it means to be human, for the value of human life, and the importance of our time on earth together. What I didn't know at that time was the sequence of events that brought Nadja to Butler. When I learned of her childhood, it made me realize that what I had always suspected about Nadja must indeed be true. That what appeared to be a deep appreciation for the beauty and dignity of human life was indeed genuine. Nadja was born in Sarajevo. In 1992, when she was 12, war broke out in Bosnia, and for the next several years, she, her family, and all the citizens of Sarajevo endured the tremendous pain and hardships brought on by the war. Nadja herself was seriously wounded when a bombshell exploded by her. To this day, she still has pieces of shrapnel in her legs. As difficult as this experience must have been, during the war, Nadja continued to write poetry, continued to study, continued to sing and to play music. And she continued to write the poignant diary entries that detailed her wartime experience and became the basis for her first book, My Childhood Under Fire. In 1995, amidst sniper fire and bomb blast, Nadja escaped Sarajevo and the war, literally through an underground tunnel. A few days later, she arrived safely in the United States. And ever since, Nadja has been working to promote peace and serving as an advocate for children victims of war. This work includes speaking to tens of thousands of people around the globe, including presentations at the Global Young Leaders Conference and the State of the World Forum. Nadja has been featured in documentaries and in books, often alongside such luminary peacemakers as Mother Teresa, Desmond Tutu, and the recently deceased Nelson Mandela. Perhaps most commonly, Nadja and her diary are compared to Anne Frank and her famous diary. And for this reason, Nadja is sometimes referred to as the Bosnian Anne Frank. And so it is fitting to recognize Nadja Holobekovich today for her good work and to ask her to address today's graduates as they begin the next stage of their own good work. Nadja, would you please come forward?
On the recommendation of the faculty, the president and provost, with the approval of the Butler University Board of Trustees, and by the authority vested in me, I confer upon you, Nadja Holobekovich, the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto. I invite the audience to join me in expressing our congratulations and best wishes to our newest honorary degree recipient.
Thank you all so much. Thank you, Dr. Spaniel, for that beautiful introduction. I'm so moved. Thank you, President Denko. Thank you, Dr. Morris, Chairman Fenneman, and the Board of Trustees. This is such an enormous honor. Good afternoon, esteemed faculty, staff, and guests, proud family and friends, and above all, good afternoon and congratulations to my Butler family, my fellow Butler graduates. I am so proud and happy to be here today celebrating your amazing achievements. Now, being here at Cluse Hall, I must take a moment to acknowledge how beautifully surreal this moment is for me. Some 15 years ago, as a high school senior, I came to Butler to audition for the music department. Afterwards, I was taken on a tour of the campus and ended up here at Cluse Hall. I walked across this stage and settled in one of these rows and wondered whether I would ever get to perform here and whether Butler would become my home for the next 4 years. I was 18 years old, still with a heavy Bosnian accent. I had only been speaking English for 2 years. And although I was full of hope, I was also deeply uncertain about my future. Fortunately, I did attend Butler, and I did perform on this very stage for many joyous occasions with the Butler Choir. I even worked here as an usher, earning some spending money. So you see, to find myself on this stage again and in this awesome capacity is, I have no words except to say, beautifully surreal. I stand before you today as a 34-year-old, but sometimes I feel like I've lived a century. A childhood spent living under siege, under the constant threat of bombshells and bullets, in this relentless grip of fear and uncertainty has left an indelible mark on my mind and on my heart. I believe this mark is even deeper due to the fact that I was only a child when the war erupted in my native Bosnia-Herzegovina. Much too early, at the age of 12, I became deeply aware of the fragility of human life. And that painful, premature knowledge has been one of the most important lessons in my life, as well as a terrible burden and sometimes a debilitating emotional trauma. I was 13 years old when one sunny, crisp October morning in 1992, I begged my mom to let me go outside. I couldn't remember the last time I was allowed outside in the fresh air. It felt like weeks. Most days, the bombings of our capital, Sarajevo, were so ruthless and intense that we had to seek refuge in dark and moldy basements, or at the very least, hide inside our apartments. On the rare occasion when dawn broke into a quiet day, it was only a matter of time until deadly crackles of snipers and deafening explosions would shatter the peace and instantly color the day with the blood of innocent civilians. So although I was pale and teary-eyed as I begged, my mom firmly resisted. But I was relentless, and I kept asking her again and again, well into the afternoon of that October day. Finally, I wore her down, and I still remember her yelling out, "Just for a few moments, all right?" as I laced up my shoes and ran down the stairs. Outside, I stayed close to our apartment building, finally enjoying some warm sun and fresh air, when suddenly a powerful blast ripped through the air. The immense impact of the explosion thudded against my face and chest, and I felt as though it tore through my insides, obliterating every nerve and every cell. All I could do was wait to be shattered into a million pieces. A bombshell exploded a few feet away from me, and a rain of shrapnel pelted my legs. I was incredibly fortunate to survive that day. I still have 7 tiny pieces of shrapnel in both of my legs. But you see, my physical wounds have healed, and my scars are now nearly invisible, translucent. But the deeper wounds, those that can never fully heal, are on a mental and emotional level. I came out of that day forever changed. I wrote and published my diary during the war, and in the entry describing that fateful day, I wrote, Slowly, I've recovered, but I've also changed. I'm more frightened and worried and a lot older. I wrote that sentence when I was 13, and 2 decades later, I feel the same way. Months after I was wounded, when I was finally able to walk again, the first winter of the war was descending upon my city. Sarajevo was once an Olympic city. In 1984, we hosted very beautiful, very memorable Olympic Games. Yet now we were a city entirely besieged by tanks and weapons, a relentless noose of tanks depriving us of peace, freedom, dignity, and basic human needs like electricity, food, and water. Still, like a true Sarajevan, I looked forward to all the winter fun and games. Being wounded had definitely chipped away a large piece of my childhood, but somehow I had still preserved a tiny sliver of my innocence. So as the first snow blanketed the streets of my beloved city, I hoped that that would be the war's end. I hoped that the carnage would end because the snow would act as a soft, pillowy blanket absorbing the mortars and the bombshells. I honestly believed that every bomb would be rendered benign and completely useless. The first time I saw hot human blood scorch deep scarlet grooves in the fast melting snow, every childhood illusion, every tiny shard of innocence was shattered. And precisely because of this deep awareness of the fragility of our lives, my constant worry and hypervigilance, the way I've come to view life as a tiny pearl in the palm of my hand, I've often asked myself a question that poet Mary Oliver puts in such a beautiful, haunting way. What is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? For me, my life has been trying to live happily despite the wounds and painful memories, and despite the very intimate knowledge of human darkness. It has been about cultivating my belief and passion for peace and tolerance, and working for the very ideals that were shattered right in front of my face. In 1995, I was invited to come to America, live with a host family, learn English, and continue my education. However, in 1995, the war was still raging, and Sarajevo was still gasping for its every breath. But my persistent parents managed to smuggle me out of the city through the only route connecting Sarajevo with the rest of Europe, an underground tunnel. The tunnel was dug out during the second year of the war out of sheer necessity for supplies such as food, medicine, and oil. The government controlled the tunnel, as it was the only artery feeding the city, and it was also the only way out for those who were so severely wounded that they needed immediate medical assistance outside of our ravaged capital. Although the permits to get through the tunnel were terribly hard to come by, after numerous attempts, my parents managed to procure 2 of them. So the plan was that my mom would come with me through the tunnel and other dangerous parts of Bosnia and take me to Croatia, from where I was to fly to America. The tunnel started on the outskirts of Sarajevo. It went underneath the airport runway, some 15 feet under the ground, and then emerged again in a small town near the city. As Mom and I stepped into the tunnel, I looked ahead of me and immediately thought that it resembled a long, narrow tomb with its dead still walking and carrying heavy bags. The tunnel was about 5 feet tall, sometimes dipping even lower, which meant that I, at 5'7", had to drop my shoulders, hunch my back, and lower my head. Mud and underground water came to our ankles, and above our heads loomed heavy support beams and large oil pipes. The air was scarce, thick with the nauseating smell of oil, stale water, and sweat. This was the longest walk of my life. At some point, the wounds on my legs started hurting. My back started burning from being bent for so long and carrying all these bags. I couldn't breathe. I felt I was going to faint. As I looked ahead of me, there was just an unending, unrelenting darkness. And then there was a moment when this last drop overfilled the cup of my patience and my faith in this world. I felt too tired, too humiliated, and I decided to give up. I turned around, with sticky tears on my face, and I looked at my mom. She was smaller than I was, and she was carrying even more bags. And before I could say anything, she looked at me and said, "Remember, Naja, remember your dreams and keep walking." I turned around, I took one deep, nauseating breath, and sped up. And I made it through that darkness because of my mom. She and I survived many perils on our way to Croatia, but we made it in the end, and we said goodbye. She went all the way back to Sarajevo, and I came to America. I didn't speak much English. In fact, I mainly knew lines from Tom Cruise movies. They're not very useful. I'm sorry, but I also thought every man in America looked like Tom Cruise. That was a bit of a surprise. But honestly, I was greeted with so much kindness and love and generosity by my host family, my fellow high school students and teachers, and a couple of years later, by my Butler family. And they healed me. So many people in your country healed me. And in those years that I lived in America, I was so nurtured and supported that I've renewed my passion and belief in peace and tolerance. I became an author and speaker passionate to advocate for those who are most innocent, children, but who are also often voiceless. I found purpose in trying to educate others about my country, about the war in Bosnia, promoting peace and tolerance, and in the process, finding some personal healing and some grace. In my 34 years, I've learned many lessons in a very harsh way. Through my experiences, I've learned that life is powerful. It ruthlessly hammers and chisels our fates, and each one of us has an allotment of tunnels and challenges. But you see, for as much darkness as I have witnessed, I have also felt myself awash in the warmest light of the human spirit and of human kindness. The citizens of my besieged city of Sarajevo, people of all religious and ethnic backgrounds, they struggled through a common tragedy, and they came together stronger as one human family, sharing a loaf of bread. I personally, on an everyday basis, witness people's ingenuity, generosity, and kindness lighten and brighten the deepest darkness. And in people like my mom, I saw the power of an indomitable spirit that can persevere through almost anything. And I learned that although life is powerful, so are we. And with our grit and grace, we hold the hammer and the chisel as well. And we and our loved ones ultimately sculpt our fates. I lost my mom earlier this year. She slipped away quickly and suddenly, and left my family reeling from grief and sadness. But I've also spent many days and sleepless nights thinking about her legacy and all the things that she and my dad have taught me through their love and sacrifice. This has also made me take stock of my own life as well, making me think on what it means to live life well. In my opinion, there are many things that make for a full life. Successes and achievements have their important place, but for me, at the very core, at the very heart of human existence, are three things. To live life well is to find one's voice and one's purpose. It is also to love passionately and be loved by as many family and friends. And finally, it is to offer as much kindness to strangers and loved ones as one possibly can. As I learn and grow, I'm finding that for most of us, life isn't defined by some heroic acts or epic achievements, but by small, everyday gestures of love and kindness. And so our purpose isn't just about achieving our own goals and climbing the ladders of success, but it's also about lessening the burden and furthering the joy of our fellow travelers. And these small acts of great love fill us with peace and contentment, all the while in a very graceful, very quiet way, making a big and lasting difference in the lives of those we encounter on our way. So you see, in my opinion, peace and tolerance are being built by each and every one of us every single day. So, tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? I know you have been asked this question or a variation of it by many, especially as you graduate, and quite naturally, you might find it daunting, annoying even. But may I suggest, as someone who has heard death's carnivorous groans at the age of 12, that the mere fact that we have the breath to ask this question of others and of ourselves should flood our hearts with gratitude before anything else. As someone who has survived shackles of indignity and intolerance, I think we also ought to be immensely grateful for the freedom of choice to answer such a question in whichever way we choose. I have no doubt that you will reflect upon your life and ask this question often as you age. I have no doubt that you will find your own authentic, unique ways to answer it. Remember, life is powerful, but so are you. And if through it you can muster some grit, some kindness, and some grace, I think you will live life well. And finally, if I may ask you for a small kindness, one that will mean so much to me. You see, just like you have your loved ones with you today, I have some wonderful family and friends, my amazing host parents, my amazing husband, Chris, but also my father, who flew all the way from Bosnia for this occasion and who doesn't speak English. So if I may, I would just like to say something to my dad, thank him really, and tell him that he and my mom taught me so many valuable lessons. Tata, volim te, hvala ti što si došao i znaj da si mi ti i mama uvijek bili uzor plemenitog čovjeka. Hvala ti. Thank you all so much. Congratulations again, and remember your dreams and keep walking. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Halobegovic. That was truly remarkable, and you are an inspiration, and we are so thankful to have you as one of our alums and also as one of our honorary degree recipients. Graduates, it's my pleasure to recognize representatives of the faculty of Butler University and to honor their role in your educational success here. Faculty, will you please rise? Graduates, during your time at Butler, you have grown and developed intellectual and practical skills that will serve you well in your future. Your development as students is a direct consequence of the meaningful interactions you have had with faculty members, both inside and outside the classroom. Simply put, you would not be here today were it not for the dedicated faculty members on our campus. Not only have these faculty members affected your daily interactions and your educational progress over the time you've been at Butler, but their influence will continue as you travel your own life paths. These people have put their hearts and souls into your education, so let's once more thank them for all they have done for you. Graduates, the diplomas you're about to receive signify your academic accomplishments under the tutelage of this outstanding faculty, grounded in the liberal arts and complemented with training in your discipline or profession of choice. Congratulations on your academic work. But being a graduate of Butler is more than just your academic success. During your time at Butler, you have not only developed as students, but also as people who contribute to the world around you. We have calculated that members of your graduating class have collectively performed some 70,000 hours of community service during your time at Butler. In the years that you've been here, you've made a positive impact on the communities in which you have served, and we know you will continue to make the world a better place. Graduates, the faculty, staff, and administration are proud of you. Indeed, commencement is one of our proudest days on this campus. As you begin a new phase in your life, please know that we trust you will be excellent ambassadors for your alma mater, whether you find yourself in Indianapolis, anywhere else in the country, or somewhere around the world. And we look forward to hearing from you about the ways in which you've used your Butler education in your professional, personal, and service-oriented lives. We will now present the graduate and undergraduate degrees. Will all members of the graduating class please stand? Chairman Fenneman, the candidates standing before you have completed all of the requirements for their respective degrees. They have been recommended by the faculty and approved by the Board of Trustees, and I now present them for the conferral of their degrees.
On the recommendation of the faculty, the president and provost, with the approval of the Board of Trustees, and by the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the degrees recommended with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
In keeping with academic tradition, those of you who are receiving bachelor degrees may now move your tassels, symbolizing your degrees, from the right side to the left side of your cap. For those of you who are receiving master's or doctoral degrees, the Associate Provost will officially hood you on stage. Please be seated.
I would now like to call upon the 21st president of Butler University, James Danko, to present the diplomas to our winter commencement graduates.
Dr. Jay Howard, Dean of the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, will now present the candidates for the Master of Arts, Bachelor of Arts, and Bachelor of Science.
Thank you, Dr. Morris. It is now my pleasure to introduce the candidates from the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. The candidate for the degree Master of Arts, James Reister. Candidates for the degree Bachelor of Arts, Paige Hawes. Stephanie Corbus. Anthony Matters. Taylor Metter. Caitlin Rice. Elizabeth Rossich. Brendan Shannon. John Shaw. Ryan Slager. Marjorie Stiles, cum laude. Stephen Tyler, cum laude. Gabrielle Weber, magna cum laude. Gabriel Winkle. Joel Zimmerly. Candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science: Matthew Jensen, cum laude. Matthew Lancaster. Sarah Nema. Douglas Petty. Thank you, Dr. Morris.
Thank you, Dr. Howard. Presenting the candidates for the Master of Science and Bachelor of Science in the College of Education will be Dr. Ina Shelley, Dean of the College.
Thank you, Dr. Morris. It is my pleasure on behalf of the College of Education to introduce the candidates. We will begin with the Master's of Science degree. Adam Barr. Joe Bowman. Allison Bradley. Joseph Fieser. Isabella Gabbard. Charles Geyer. Laura Haynes. Stephen Helgeson. Meredith Keaty. Misty Kuykendall Roseman. Brittany Mazzola. Jennifer Mobley. Holly Nicholson. Jenny Reynolds. Anna Schmedeke. Eric Schmidt. Megan Schoaf. James Spears. Anthony Tharp. Terry Trepanier. Marion Walsh. Ayana Williams. And now for the Bachelor of Science degree. Lloyd Cormalath. Jenna Daniels. Taylor Hughes, cum laude. Kayla Roby. Mark Spiegel, cum laude. And Rebecca Templeton. Thank you, Dr. Morris.
Thank you, Dr. Shelley. Presenting the candidates for Master of Business Administration, Bachelor of Science, and Bachelor of Science in Economics in the College of Business will be Dr. Chuck Williams, Dean of the College.
Thank you, Dr. Morris. On behalf of the College of Business, it is my pleasure to introduce the candidates. I'll begin with the candidates for the Masters of Business Administration, Timothy Beckman. Robert Bell II. Brian Cox. Robert Curtis, Jr. Michaela Cusack. Alicia Hobson. Natalia Krylova. Michael Lampkin. Luis Molinari. Veera Rajendran. Garald Schmidt. Robert Sloan. And Andrew Summers. Now candidates for the degree of the Bachelor of Science. Shumak Aljarba. Jordan Burt. Alexandra Davis. Bridget Davis. Jonathan Dawson. Daniel Haber. Sean Higgins. Jeffrey Horn. Erica Humphrey. Thomas Judge. Matthew Mandich. Robert McDonald. Alexander Parrott. Stephanie Post. Mason Rucker. Thaddeus Satri. Jeffrey Schnick. Matthew Soika. James Safransky. Carter Wally. Amy Waymeyer. And candidate for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Economics, Matthew Eggleston. Thank you, Dr. Morris.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. Dr. Mary Andritz Graham, Dean of the College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences, was unable to join us today. It is therefore my distinct pleasure to present the candidate for the Doctor of Pharmacy, Elizabeth Dr. Ronald Caltabiano, Dean of the Jordan College of the Arts, will present the candidates for Master of Music, Bachelor of Music, and Bachelor of Science in the college.
Thank you, Dr. Morris. Graduating with a Master of Music degree, Bryce Johnson. Graduating with a Bachelor of Music degree, Daniel Clipper, cum laude. Graduating with Bachelor of Science degrees, Laura Clay, cum laude. Alex Stevens. And Amanda Tudor. Thank you, Dr. Morris.
Thank you, Dr. Caltabiano. Dr. Gary Edgerton, Dean of the College of Communication, will present the candidates for Bachelor of Arts in that college.
Thank you, Dr. Morris. It is my honor to introduce the candidates from the College of Communication. These are candidates for Bachelor of Arts degree. Zachary Beam. Anna Kurtz. Katie Stout, cum laude. Diana Todd, cum laude. And Hannah Wingo. Thank you, Dr. Morris.
Thank you, Dr. Edgerton.
I invite the graduating class, the class of 2013, to please stand as I announce each college to receive your congratulations. College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. College of Education. College of Business. College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. The Jordan College of the Arts. And the College of Communication. Congratulations to all of you. We're quite proud of your accomplishments and wish you well. It's also appropriate at this time to recognize those who have made this day possible. Will the families of the graduating class please stand to receive our congratulations and gratitude? And now I welcome Dr. Morris back to the podium to introduce our final musical performance and speaker.
During the opening convocation of Welcome Week, we ask our faculty, staff, students, and parents to join in the singing of the Alma Mater as a symbol of our welcoming you to the university. As you are now leaving the hallowed halls of Butler, I call on you to sing the Alma Mater once more. please join the Butler Chorale under the direction of Mr. Greg Sanders as we sing Your Alma Mater together. You will find the words in your program. Would you please stand as we sing the Alma Mater? Many thanks to our talented musicians and also Mr. Dale Caldwell for his musical accompaniment. Thank you. Please be seated. I'd also like to thank Mr. Chuck Dobby, who has done a tremendous job of signing the ceremony today. Finally, I would like to invite Beth Swenson-Morris, Secretary of the Alumni Association Board of Directors, to the podium to welcome you, the newest members of Butler University's Alumni Association.
Good afternoon. Today, we celebrate all of the accomplishments of your past years at Butler, and we look forward to a continued relationship between you and your alma mater. As the December 2013 graduates of Butler, I would welcome each of you to the Alumni Association. It is with pleasure that we share this achievement with you and with your families, recognizing that this is just the beginning of this next page of your lives of inspiring achievement. Please keep us updated on your whereabouts and on your life from this point forward. We would love to see your smiling faces on the pages of the Butler magazine as you share with us what's going on with you, whether you've taken a gap year and what you've done, whether you've pursued additional academic success elsewhere or in further study in your given field. And share with us when you get that important promotion that you've worked so hard for or become a parent of a future bulldog. In the coming weeks, you'll be receiving communications from the Alumni Association. I encourage you to take full advantage of the opportunities that are afforded to you to stay connected with the university, whether that's here in the Central Indiana region, whether that's in one of the cities that hosts one of our alumni chapters, or whether it's as you return home to your country. Remember, Butler will always be here for you, as you will always be alumni of Butler University. Congratulations and welcome to the Alumni Association.
With sincere congratulations and best wishes to the graduating class, I declare the 2013 Butler University Winter Commencement completed. Please remain seated until all faculty and students have recessed. Shall we?
so incredible.